To embellish our starfish, we picked out a bunch of teeny tiny shells and some medium-sized shells. And what we're going to do is start by gluing our largest shells in the center of our starfish using E6000. We love using E6000 for shell projects because it's nice and viscous and sets up quickly. And I'm just going to start by arranging the shells in the center, biggest first. Now the shells don't have a lot of surface area, so you want to make sure you use enough kind of around the edge and on this flatter part of the bottom so that it will set up. So I'm just going to place that there and hold it for a second. And then I'm going to start tucking some of the other larger shells around. I like that one. Oh, look at the bottom of that one, so interesting. We picked shells that are all different colors and have different patterns on them for this design. We did that because the starfish already has some interesting color and texture to it. So that'll kind of go. Let's see, I might do one of these longer ones here. It kind of sets in there. You could use hot glue for this project, but we think E6000 will hold up a little bit better and a little bit longer than hot glue. Sometimes hot glue will release, especially if it's in a room that's air conditioned or if it's too cold. See if that one will sit there. There we go. Was just fighting with me a little bit. I'm just going to keep tucking some more shells. I might tuck one more right there. Like that. And now I'm going to fill in a little bit because it looks a little organized right now. We like it to look a little disorganized. Let's see. I think I'll take one of these pointy ones. Put some glue on that. And maybe have it poking up like that to sort of fill in that space. The idea with a shell project like this is that you can use the different shapes together to fill in the different gaps as you create them, because every time you put a new shell down, you're going to make a new little gap. And you can fill in the little gaps with the smaller shells or different shaped shells as you go. And that's sort of the fun of it. That's sort of the creative part. I think I want to do one of these upside down. I really like the look of this one. This one shell is giving me fits here. It wants to fall off, but I'm going to make it stay. We don't want to go too far out on our the arms of our starfish here. We want to make sure you still see that it's a starfish. Take this little spiral guy. I'll put him over here. Whoops. Tuck him under this one like that. Oh, that's looking really pretty. And I think we need to fill in a little bit over on this part where this bigger shell is. So let's see. I think maybe I'll use that one. That might be too big. Actually, if I angle it this way, that might fit just right. So I'm just going to keep filling in around these bigger shells. I'm going to put some of these tinier shells here and there. And then I'm going to let the glue set up. And then we'll be ready to add a little glitter. We let our glue set up and now we're ready to add some glitter. And to do that, we've got a little bit of water here in a dish. We're going to add some tacky glue. This is just white craft glue. And what we want to do is water the glue down a little bit so that it's not super duper thick. So I'm just going to mix that around with my brush here to get it nice and runny. We like adding a little bit of glitter to shell projects, especially iridescent glitter, because it just looks like the ocean. It looks like mother of pearl, abalone shells, that sort of thing. Okay, we've got that nicely watered down. I'm going to get a little bit of the glue off my brush there. And now what I'm going to do is take the watered down glue and just sort of tuck the glue up and under and around the edges of the shells. We don't want to cover the shells completely. We want it to be sort of like sand that maybe washed up on the beach and settled in between the shells. Do a little bit here and there, a little bit up on the top here. And then before that dries too much, I want to go ahead and dust it a little bit with some of my glitter. Just like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit more watered down glue. A little bit in here. I got a little bit too much, but I think it'll just settle down and dry in between the shells, which is just fine. We definitely want to have a little bit of a dusting of that iridescent glitter in and around and a little bit on top of these pretty shells. And now I'm going to take a dry brush and kind of brush off the tops of my shells a little bit. The glue is probably still a little bit wet, so I don't want to pick up too much of the glue with this dry brush. But this will sort of help me see where I want to add a little bit more, if I do want to add a little bit more glitter here and there. But I think that's looking pretty nice. And I'm going to brush it off of my starfish. Leave a little bit in there, but brush it off of this outer part, like that. That looks great. I think I might just use a little ribbon and tie this and hang it up on a wall. It's so pretty.